You are nice to everyone, but too hard on yourself. You are always tolerant and considerate of others, yet too harsh on yourself. Have you ever asked yourself what your greatest self-harm is? It is the belief that you are unworthy. You don't believe that beautiful relationships will come to you. You instinctively feel unworthy of praise. You habitually feel guilty or sorry, even when you have the ability. You don't dare to enjoy material satisfaction. Whether a person feels deserving of happiness is actually not directly related to how much material wealth they possess. Some people, even when they have the conditions to possess both materially and emotionally, still feel that they are unworthy. This has become a habitual self-curse and self-limitation. It often stems from low-value feedback received during their growth, making them believe that they must be perfect to deserve love, leading to a constant devaluation of themselves, ultimately falling into a more twisted state of existence. On the stage of life, if you always play the role of the principal less good person, always compromising unconditionally, silently enduring each time, letting others' words influence you, retreating step by step to the edge of the cliff, you will find that when you have nowhere left to retreat, that moment is actually when you learn how to defend yourself. When you truly understand this, you will find that those around you can no longer exert their sharpness on you, because the unassailable determination within you is enough to deter others. Just as my friend said, he witnessed my anger. Though that anger was not directed at him, the deterrent effect was enough to instill deep respect in him. So I tell you, rocks do not like to be rubbed. The sparks from rubbing can sometimes hurt oneself. But when an egg meets a stone, you are hurt, but I gain nourishment. Let me share a phrase with everyone: we can be kind, but we must be firm. If you are always bullied, it is because you allowed such behavior. You have turned yourself into a punching bag from a Cheong Yao novel, and mistakenly think you are very kind. Little kindness often breeds great evil. You have nurtured others' selfishness and evil deeds. So what is true great kindness? In my view, kindness must have its bottom line. My worldview is that it is already quite good that I do not bully others. But if someone bullies me, then they will pay the price. Many people often ask, shouldn't we forgive those who are hardest to forgive? In fact, this is not simply about forgiveness. Do you realize? What you need to learn is not just forgiveness, but also self-protection. Always suffering damage and then telling yourself to forgive is not as wise as setting boundaries beforehand. Why always repair with wounds after things happen, instead of preventing them before they occur? Many people often say they are too kind and find it hard to hurt others. Indeed, you may not want to hurt others, but you are hurting yourself. What kind of kindness is this? I believe those who do not treat themselves kindly are the most selfish. Many people think selfishness is just caring for one's own interests. But I tell you, true selfishness is giving up one's happiness and dignity. Only those who truly know how to love themselves can truly understand how to love others. In the eyes of many people, being good to others means you are a good person. But I want to say, a good person is not only good to others, but also good to oneself. Have you seriously thought whether you deserve this life? Why do people get sick? It is not due to calamities from heaven, nor disasters from the earth, but because our internal organs and spirit are protesting to us. The vast majority of people are ordinary people, and mostly good people. But many people are actually not very good to themselves. What does it mean to be not good to oneself? It means being unable to let go of everything, feeling tangled and worried inside, keeping oneself in constant pain and anxiety. Isn't this an extreme unkindness to oneself? Ignoring the warnings from the body, overdrafting with binge eating, staying up late, and playing games. Isn't that self-destruction? We often say, the body is the capital of revolution. Without capital, how can one maintain vitality and creativity? There are many people in this world who die early from overwork. For example, Emperor Yongjing is a typical case. He was one of the most hardworking emperors in history, staying up late and forbidding debauchery. In that era of writing with brushes, Yongjing wrote over 10 million characters, an average of over 3,000 characters a day. But excessive fatigue buried hidden dangers for his future health. In the end, he passed away suddenly in the summer palace. So I want to say, sick people are often not good to themselves. If you want to stay away from illness and gain more blessings, please remember to treat yourself a bit better while you are alive. Okay? Remember this point. Love yourself wholeheartedly, but be moderate with others. You can love, but do not be excessively humble. In this world, do what you can do, and do not force yourself. You will feel very comfortable. You are willing to give, then give. If you are unwilling, then don't force it. Whether it's for a long time or love, I am willing to share with you. But if you don't need it, then I can take it back at any time. For me, others' goodness is just an addition. The most important thing is, I am good to myself. Everything should be centered on yourself. If your parents can help, you need to take the initiative to speak. If your spouse can help, you should dare to ask. In the end, only you are the most reliable. Why do good people easily feel depressed? Because you often think you are sincerely good to everyone, and others will repay you with the same kindness. Yet reality often disappoints you. Your wholehearted efforts, others take for granted, and you think you are very important in their hearts. In fact, you are only occasionally needed. Remember not to be overly generous to anyone. Do not overestimate your status in their hearts. You may ultimately find your efforts and sense of value did not receive corresponding returns. You are good to everyone, but in the end, no one is really good to you. You try hard to please everyone, but find that no one is satisfied. Life is like this. Sometimes you need to stick to your bottom line, even if others are momentarily unhappy. But you will feel comfortable for a long time. Next time someone says this person has principles, you will find that many troubles have been avoided. You do not need to violate your bottom line for others' demands, nor do you need to cater too much. Just like the student I know, he always tries his best to help others, yet neglects his own performance. In the end, he was criticized. Did you see that? Satisfying everyone does not bring true gratitude. Giving up yourself for others is not as good as maintaining yourself, sticking to your principles. This way, you will be strong inside. Whether in daily life or when facing problems, you must remain calm. Only then can you live better. Life is a journey that is both long and short. On this road, we will encounter various gains and losses, acceptance, and doubt. Those moments of disappointment you experienced with others will eventually become the driving force, urging you to love yourself doubly, to grow inward. When the outside world's gaze is filled with indifference and disdain, remember, this is your shining moment to prove your self-worth. Don't let others' prejudices become an excuse for your self-doubt. And do not become a vassal to those indifferent voices, in a bid to devalue yourself. In this complex and changing world, the most heartbreaking thing is losing self-identity, allowing external judgments to shape yourself, even resonating with those denying voices, blaming your existence as reasonable or not. But please remember, no matter when and where, you are a unique existence in the universe. Your value should not be defined by others. Just like that saying, no one holding hands, I put my hands in my pockets. Walking alone with no one to admire, I fragrance myself. Quietly waiting for the spring light. Life doesn't need to always rely on others' applause and praise. Inner richness and resilience are your strongest armor. Some say, in life, who hasn't been hurt? Who doesn't have a yearning heart? For these, I can always respond with an almost teasing attitude. Indeed, I once had likes and attachments, but those have turned to fleeting clouds. Now, I cherish everything in front of me even more, including those experiences that once tore my heart apart. Because it is these experiences that taught me to be more resilient and independent, and made me understand a principle: when we meet again in this life, I am no longer me, and you are no longer you. Time is the fairest judge. It will take away everything that doesn't belong to us, and leave the most sincere insights and growth. And in interpersonal communication, I always adhere to a principle: use love to resolve all hostility and barriers. When someone tries to approach me to understand me, even if I previously held prejudice or dissatisfaction towards them, I will choose to let go of my preconceived notions and accept them with a tolerant heart. Because I believe everyone has their own shining points and value. As long as we genuinely seek to discover and embrace each other, life can be better. In this world of self-constraint, let me remind you one last time: love yourself well, and forgive yourself for all your flaws, because you have the right to be imperfect. What matters most is that you remain true to yourself, no matter how others perceive you. Even if the world is cold, you can still find warmth, because you will always have yourself. Thank you.